Hi, so I'm doing a review of this off-brand camera quick release. Let's see how it goes. So these are the parts you get. Obviously in the foreground you have your mounting plate. Provided as well you get a GoPro mount that lets you adapt GoPros onto standard camera threaded mounts. Then you have the actual clip itself and an Allen key for attaching that mounting plate. So this is the base plate. Obviously that's the main deal. That's the part you're really interested in. As you can see as I turn it, the milling that has been done for this part has been done very roughly. This edge here is nice and smooth, and this edge at the top is actually rolled and is very sharp. So the finish quality on this part is not super great. Underneath you get a mounting screw, so you can screw it onto a standard tripod and then quick detach off of that if you want to, I guess. Or you could probably even stack these. You could put a quick detach on a quick detach. So what's really interesting is that this has one job. The job is to hold your camera and hold it securely. That is done using this blue button. So you clip your camera on, or you put your camera on your base plate, put your base plate and your camera down, and you clip. Then, to release the camera, you push the blue button and pull up. Camera's free. There's also a locking screw here that lets you turn and crimp using this part here against the connector that holds it in place. What really is interesting though is that this plastic pin is what you're really expected to be using to hold your camera in place, and you can see how small that part is. That is tiny, absolutely tiny. To think that you might be putting a camera that's worth a couple of $1,000s and securing it using only this part. So clips in, a little bit loose, seems to hold fine. Obviously if you push very hard on this you will be able to just push it over that plastic. Hopefully you don't find yourself in that situation, but it is a very, very small amount of material to be holding something so very expensive. If you're worried about it and you're moving around, you can of course tighten up that locking screw. It seems to be pretty solidly in there now. You're not relying just on that plastic part. However, what is the point of owning this if you have to use this locking screw? Because it's not a quick release anymore. It's a turn and that's losing a lot of time. It feels like it's kind of defeating the purpose if you have to use the locking screw whenever you are moving. So this is the locking plate that you get with this device. As you can see, it's got these 4 areas to connect fasteners to, and underneath it has these notches. I guess these are the notches, these are risers. And these are the piece that interact with the little blue locking clip we were looking at just before. So underneath we've got a screw thread, nice little arm so you can tighten it up, also a hole for the Allen key that's provided. This is the locking plate that comes with the stuff from Peak Design, and as you can see the design's pretty different really. The device again has 4 locking holes, 4 holes for attaching things to. They're in the corners instead of up top. That's a side by side. And underneath, a little bit different again. Doesn't have the arm, which is okay, I guess, because you should be attaching these and leaving them on permanently. That's kind of the point. And as you can see, they have a similar mechanism for acting with that cam. So, interacting with the tiny little blue plastic bit. What is interesting is that if you take the base plate from this manufacturer and you try and use the Peak Design plate, it comes straight out and falls on your floor, just like your camera might do. As far as actually attaching it to a strap, that procedure is pretty simple. you undo these studs. The bottom has a little spring that pushes it open, and then you swing the gate. So there's your bottom plate, pretty solid. Interestingly large number of injection marks here, and they are tripod screw is a separate part that is press fit in, but it looks like it's pretty solid. Don't think that's going to come out anytime soon. It's not really engaged when you're using it in the normal, mode of operation anyway. Underneath, you've got some nice grips here that'll help provide friction against whatever strap you're attaching this to, and you've got this cover plate, which is obviously covering up some part of this mechanism. I think it's simply so they can manufacture it and and put all the parts together. And a screw over here, which is holding on something over this side. I'm honestly not sure. Probably something to do with the cam action over here. The screw is just recessed in there and looks fine. Oh yeah, while we're looking at all the random screws on this, there's another one that holds this together here. So anyway, to actually attach it to a strap goes through here, swing it shut, tighten up, and keep tightening. There we go, tighten up. And that'll crimp onto whatever strap that you want to use it with. So here I've got a super close-up of that blue plastic pin and how it's interacting with the mounting plate. You can see it's right in there. There's a massive amount of headroom that it has available to it. That pin could be twice as proud. And then it would be pretty trustworthy. Right now you can see the amount of material it's actually playing. So this is the action when you push the camera release button. So push the button, push, oop, there we go, push the button, moves across out of the way, and the plate comes free. That there is really all that is keeping your plate in place. So as you're running along, camera bouncing up and down, a couple of pounds of camera, I don't know about that. I guess it really depends on how much the camera's worth that you're putting on this. If it's a GoPro, I think that's probably perfectly fine, and to be fair, they include a GoPro mount, so if you want to use this just for a GoPro, maybe not so bad. Seems like that's on there pretty well. That's just with the quick release. This is with the locking screw. Pretty much the same. So, all in all, if you want a quick release for your camera, this one is cheap. It works. The little blue clip is stronger than I thought it would be. If your camera is heavy, or if your camera is expensive, or if your camera is heavy and expensive, you're probably better off paying a little bit more and getting the actual device from Peak Design. It's going to be better built. You're risking thousands of dollars of gear potentially on trying to save, a few dollars here and there on your quick release. So, my opinion, not worth trying to make that cost saving. If you have cheap gear, or a GoPro or something that's really light, then go for it. It'll probably hold that quite fine. So all in all, not bad. Probably not worth the cost saving of, trying to go cheap on this one.